Hey everyone, it's Quentin from Capri, and I'm super excited to be doing this video because it's going to be going with our feature announcement that we have a public API now. So up until now, you've only been able to use the API through high level, but now we've made it so that it can be publicly used across any platform that has the ability to send webhooks out. And so let me show you what that looks like. And I'll, of course, in this video, I will also link these documents to this video so you can read it yourself. But first, I'm going to just do a quick walkthrough. And hopefully, if you have any questions, you can let me know down in the comments. So the new public API, it is documented in the help.capriai.us. I will put the specific link, but it's under the section called REST API. And it's called using the new public API. So all requests that you make to the public API are going to be to the same base URL. So it's going to be api.capriai.us/v1/ whatever your endpoint's going to be. So in our case, the one endpoint we have published publicly right now is the conversations endpoint, and it's so that you can query your agent from any kind of third-party tool. And in today's demo, we're going to be using make.com, which is a no-code tool, very popular in the online business space, and it's really good for doing these types of things. But to be able to see how to do this request, all you got to do is go to the details here, and you'll see that there's a post request documented with all of the required parameters, as well as what kind of responses you can expect. So following with this, we are going to just make a brand new scenario in make.com and walk through how to set all of this up. So the first thing that I want to do is set up a webhook. So I'm going to type out webhook just like this and choose the custom webhook instant action. So from here, I'm going to click add, and then this is going to be, I'm going to name it Capri V3 demo, and I'll click save. And now you can see it is listening for new requests. So to make it have the new request and be able to actually see what that looks like so that it knows how to manage the request body, we're going to create a brand new workflow in our, I'm just going to do it in high level for now so that I can trigger it off of a customer reply in high level. But of course, you can use any type of third-party tool you want to trigger this. So for now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to click start from scratch. And then I'm going to do a new trigger. And this new trigger is going to be customer replied. So in this customer replied trigger, I'm going to put a filter just so that it only does it when I want to fire. It only fires when I want it to fire. So whenever it has the tag, and then for this scenario, I made a tag called make. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to save this, and then I'm going to set the first action to also be a webhook. So I'll set this webhook here. It is going to be a post request, and the URL is going to be that URL that Make gave me. So I'm going to come here, click copy address to clipboard. I'm going to go back to my high-level instance, click paste, click save, and that should be it. So then now I'm going to click publish. I'm going to rename this to be public API v3 demo. And then I'm also going to set the settings so that it allows re-entry. So that way I can do this multiple times. So now I have my workflow set up. All I should need to do now is create a contact and then send a reply. I'm going to do that right now. Perfect. So I've got my contact made, and just to make sure that I go through the automation that I expected, I added a make tag here to my contact. And then now I'm going to send just a quick, hey. And so I should receive this text message to my phone. And now I'm going to go to my phone and I'm going to just reply directly back to that text message that I got. So I just got that text message. So now I'm going to say hello. So now that I replied, that should trigger the automation and fire the webhook to make. So let's go check our make scenario. And as we can see, we do see successfully determined. So that means make did in fact receive the request, and it understands what is in the request body. So now I'm going to hit OK. And then the next thing that I want to do, just because this is a very simple demo, is I want to use the new public API that is documented by our request or by our help docs. So to do that, I'm going to add another module here. I'm going to send HTTP, and then I'm going to choose the HTTP module from here. And since this is just a bare token request, I'm just going to do make a request. So keeping it very simple, not going to do any of these pre-built stuff. So I'm just going to click make a request, and then I'm going to change this to a post request. And then for the URL, I'm going to come to our help docs, and I'm going to actually copy the URL that it says that I need to use. So it says I need to use this one. So I'm going to come back here. I'm going to set that URL just like that. Now in the headers, this is where I need to put authorization. So for the name, I'm going to put authorization just like that. And then this is important. In the value, I'm going to put BEARER. So this is bearer. And then I need to get a token to add to the end of it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come to my Capri dashboard. And if you haven't been here yet, you just go to beta.capriai.us, sign up for a 2-week free trial, and create your first agent, even using the quick create. There's plenty of other videos on our channel on how to do that. And if you need any help at all, please feel free to check out the quick start guides in the help docs. But for now, I'm going to assume you've already done that. I'm going to go to organization, and I'm going to go to tokens. And now I already have a token created, but just in case you don't, all you got to do is go to the top and click add token, name it whatever you want, and then you should be able to get the value from here. So I'm going to click copy so that I know that I have that copy to my clipboard, and then I'm going to come and paste it right there. Now, from here, the only other thing we have to do is set up the request body. So for the request body, I'm going to choose raw because we need to do a raw JSON object. And then for the content type, I'm going to put JSON. This lets the receiving app, Capri in this case, know that it's a JSON object. So I'll click JSON. And then from here, this is where we will fill out our request body. So the first thing I always do is I use an open and closing squiggly bracket just so that I can go ahead and get that set from the beginning. And I shouldn't have to worry about anything in terms of the syntax, except for knowing what's a string and what's not. So in this case, the agent parameter is the first required parameter according to the docs. And this is a string, and it's your desired agent ID. And if you need to know where to find it, all you do is click on here, and it'll take you to our Capri page. And then from there, you can just click on the agent that you want. So I'm going to choose our real estate agent. And the ID is just the last bit of the URL right here. So I'm going to copy that. And I'm going to come back here, put colon, then I'm going to put the ID just like that. And then I'm going to put a comma, only a comma. And now the next parameter is going to be session ID. So it does need to be capital I, lowercase d. It's just normal supported syntax so that we understand that this is the session ID. From here, I am still going to put a string so that double quotes right here lets the app know that it's a string. And then to keep it as easy as possible, the session ID can be anything you want, but to keep it as simple as possible, especially in this scenario where we're just using high level as the communication channel, I'm going to come here and I'm going to put contact ID. And then from there, I'm going to close it. Make sure you have open and closing quotation on either side. Very important for keeping up with strings so that we don't get any unexpected syntax errors. And then from there, the last part that we need should be message. So the message is going to come from the incoming webhook. So we'll do message here. And this contact ID also came from step 1. That's why it's important to do the mapping first, so that way you know what fields are going to be coming in. So you click contact ID, and then for the message, we're going to do something similar where you come down here, you say message.body. So we'll do message.body just like that, just by clicking on it. And of course, don't want to forget, we got to have our quotation marks wrapping both of them. And that is it. That's the minimum required that we need so that we can actually make this request happen and get the response that we're looking for. So we have our raw JSON, we have our authentication token, and then we have our request content set exactly how we need. So I'm going to click OK. I'm going to click save. And then just to make sure that it's working, I'm going to click run once. Now, just to double check, make sure that you have the Settings again, set for allow reentry set to true, else this next part won't work since you've already mentioned it once or messaged it once. But since we know we have that, this guy is listening right now. So I'm just going to text myself back and say hi. And then there we go. Now it looks like it went ahead and did the request. And let's see what we got in the response. So we got a 404. So this is very important because I did include an extra S in the conversation. So that's really easy to do. So let me come in here and click out of that. And I will make sure that the docs are updated by the time you watch this. But just a small syntax issue. Let me save this anyway. And then we will try to run it one more time. All right, so there we go. Just a small fix there in the URL, and I did update it in the docs, so it is /conversation/query, but you will be able to copy it directly from the docs. You don't have to worry about that. And you can see when we do get the URL correct, we will get a response that looks just like this. We've got the status code 200, and then here in the data, in the last part of the response, we have final response, which is hello, welcome North Georgia Realty. How can I assist you with your real estate needs today? And the actions were empty. So this is now allowing you as an outside operator to actually be able to pull the final response parameters, so what your bot actually said, and then now you can do with it what you want to do, in your own automation scenario. And in addition to that, we also are going to have all the actions that happened during the request will also be in the request body. So if you wanted to add a tag, if you wanted to update a custom field, if there's anything that you wanted to do that's a supported action in Capri, but you wanted it to happen outside of high level, so where you could actually control the full scenario, now that's fully available to you. The reason I'm so excited about this is because it maintains the same training capabilities that you can't find in other apps while still opening up the API to allow you to integrate it with many, many more. So now you can create fully customized agents that are able to be trained to your liking and deployed to any API or integration that you want. So thank you so much for watching. I hope that makes sense. If you have any questions, of course, please comment down below. We look forward to getting your feedback from this, and we can't wait to keep building out for you. Thank you so much. I'll see you in the next one.